Hello everyone, hello animation winners, it's me again, it's Posey, and this is AnimCast episode 2. Been about 2 months since the last one where we interviewed Mont27P. This is going to be a bit more important. I have an animator with me today who is pretty has quite a lot of subscribers, I gotta say. Around 500,000. But that's not really what matters. On Animation Wins, we have covered some of his videos in the past, or Hoovian has, I guess, before I took over, but Hoovian has won some of his videos in the past. Anyone who has stuck in this community for years will recognize this person immediately, because he's been important to the channel, because, you know, we've winned his content, and he's part of, well, he was part of the community that, we generally associated, that Hoovian associated herself with back at the time. So I figured it would be fun if we got him on for an episode and interviewed him. So here we have Ekrcoaster, and you may introduce yourself now after that awkward introduction, because I did not plan this out at all. I actually do have a list of questions, but it's just very vague, so I'm going to go down the list after the introduction is over. So with that being said, please do introduce yourself.
All right, hi. You're good. I'm Ethan. I'm Ekrcoaster. I kind of am an animator still. I haven't really animated in a long time, but hopefully that'll change soon. But I do a lot of things. I animate, I make games, etc., etc. And yeah, it's great being here.
Yeah, no, it's great to have you here.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, is there anything we should say before we start getting on to the questions?
I don't think so. I think I'm all ready. I'm very
All
excited.
right, all right, perfect. One thing I should mention is that any drama involving the community, because some of you may know there has been that in the past. That's not going to be a topic of this episode. It's going to be purely
Mhm.
about positive things. We're going to be talking about, like, the aspects of animation itself, what Ethan will be working on in the future, all stuff like that. I just feel like I don't want any of the negative stuff on this channel, because I've covered it already on my main channel, and I feel like at some point, just, and especially not, like, I'm not going to bring it up in conversation to someone who had to go through it. So I'm just not going to bring it up. It's that simple. So again, no drama. That's just my disclaimer. We're only going to be discussing things about, like, actual animation, and we're going to be keeping it very lighthearted. So I just thought I would tell you that, because it is pretty important. And with that being said, I'm going to get on with the questions. So, Ethan, is it
Yeah.
alright if I call you Ethan? Just,
Yeah. You can call me whatever
alright.
you want. I don't
Okay.
care.
So, what were your earliest experiences with animation? Like, I'm talking years and years and years ago, like,
Oh,
when
okay.
you first got
Long
into
time
it,
ago.
if you can
So
still remember.
I can totally remember. So, I think I had always loved like Disney movies, right? I love them so much. I remember when Frozen came out, and I was like crazy obsessed with. It was this one scene in specific where it was when Elsa was like running up and building her ice castle. I was blown away. So then I went home and I tried to find like some 3D software, and I found Blender, and then I like struggled with it for months, but then I was able to get a grasp of it, and then I just started to like make really weird things with it, really weird like shapes, and I was obsessed with theater too. So I would try to like make a theater in Blender and like have working curtains and stuff, and then eventually I don't remember how, but I somehow found Minecraft, like as in like animating with Minecraft in Blender. And so then I somehow managed to get into that sphere, and then I started by like I don't know if you know Black Plasma Studios. I used
Oh,
to
I
watch
love
them.
Black Plasma
Yeah.
Studios. I'm still somewhat involved in that community. I
Oh,
actually
no way, that's
interviewed,
cool.
the last episode was an interview with one of the main animators of Black Plasma
Oh
Studios,
my gosh, no way.
Mont27P.
Wow,
Although
that's cool.
he did join a lot more recently, back in 2020, but he's extremely talented, and he gave me a lot of insight into his experiences. But obviously, this episode is not about him. This is about you. So,
Yeah.
carry on where you left off, please. I just
Yeah,
felt like I'd
you're
interject because I am quite the BPS enjoyer myself.
yeah, you're all good. That's really cool. I think it was like 2016, 15. I don't even know. It was a long time ago. All these years are confusing.
I
So then
vaguely, I vaguely recall seeing your channel as being made in 2016 and very early in 2016, like something
yeah. Oh,
like
so it was 2016. Yeah,
yeah,
June 2nd or 4th
something
or
like
something
yeah,
like
it
that.
was June 2nd. I remember that because I was doing research for my video and I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Back in
but
the day. Oh my gosh.
I'm not the one who should be telling you when your channel was made. So
You're all
yeah,
good.
carry
You're all
on
good.
again.
So, I can't quite remember how all the events played out, but so at some point I also was really I really liked Phineas and Ferb because I was very like I don't know, I was just really into that series. And again, Minecraft blended them all together and then I made the first or not the first animation. Oh my gosh. I made the Phineas and Ferb animation. That was my first animation, but it was not the first animation of, But so I made that and I remember really having a lot of fun with it. And then I released it onto YouTube. I had no idea what I was doing. I just released it. I'm like, whatever. And I remember like telling my friends about it and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, whatever." And then I went on vacation and I remember being on vacation as the video was like blowing up. Like, I mean,
Oh
that's
man,
crazy. Yeah, this is my
that is
first ever
wild.
video. Yeah, on my brand new channel that I made probably like the day of, and it had started getting like hundreds of views and hundreds of views. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then like thousands, and then 10,000, and then 100,000. And I was like, what in the world is happening? And I was like,
Blessed by the
literally,
algorithm.
yeah, I was so blessed by the algorithm. I was literally like a fetus and I was getting all these views and it was crazy. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do more. So then I started pumping out like these not FNAF, Phineas and Ferb Minecraft videos. Most of them are unlisted, but I still
I
have
had
them.
no idea you had Phineas and Ferb animations. That is
Oh
amazing.
yeah, I made
I've
like
never
10
actually
of
watched it, but I've heard amazing things about that show.
Oh, it's really good. It's solid. It holds up even as you're an adult. Like I've watched some stuff recently. It's still really good. It's a great show.
Yeah, I
Um,
figure.
yeah.
I need to start talk. We need to have a whole section where we talk about media and stuff we like because I did
Oh.
because there was one with the Mont episode but although it was brief. But anyway, carrying on. You had a bunch of Phineas and Ferb animations, and most of them are now
Yeah.
unlisted, which is probably why I never found them. Um,
Yeah, I don't
I feel
remember
like
why I deleted
I think most people would know you for your FNAF animations at this point.
Yeah. So I had made a bunch of those, the Phineas and Ferb ones. They were doing really, really well. And then Black Plasma, that's when I started to like really get inspired by them. So then I started making similar videos, but those didn't do well. And then eventually I had seen Survive the Night by Enchanted Mob, and I was like blown away because I
Oh
had no
boy.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that video was their first big hit.
Yeah. I had seen FNAF before and I knew that it was like kind of a cool game, but I was scared of it. And to be honest, I still am scared of it. But so I had known about that and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I want to do that." And I didn't even like do it for like the views because I didn't comprehend that stuff back then. I just did it for fun.
Well,
And
you
I was like,
must have
"I
been
want to do
like,
that."
geez, you must have been like in your early teenage years back then,
Oh,
right?
oh yeah, I was young. I was really young. And
Oh, back then I would have been like, what year was this again? 2016?
2016ish,
Still
yeah.
2016. I would have been 11 at that point.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't even know how I'm so old. But
That was back in times of my old channel before it got terminated. That's a
oh
funny story.
shoot.
It
How did
got
it terminate?
terminated because I decided to be honest about my age one day, and YouTube screwed me over.
Oh.
I switched my age to my actual
Oh.
age, even though I
Oh
initially set it as
no.
higher, and then I switched it back, and then YouTube deleted my channel, and then I had to make another
Oh.
one.
Oh
Um,
my gosh,
and
that's
that was in
awful.
2017.
Oh, okay. That's so
the
funny.
the act the history of my channel is actually very very interesting. I could do a whole podcast about that, but I'm not going to because that is not the focus.
You should one day. You should one day.
I
That
will.
actually
I
happened to
will.
my that actually happened to my first Twitter for some reason. Well, I mean, I wasn't underage, but I was like 14 or 15, and then I set my birthday because you can do that, and then I immediately got banned.
Oh yes. Well, the thing
Great.
is, I can now be honest about my age on YouTube because I'm 17 now. I
Oh,
was
nice, nice.
11 when I started doing YouTube, and 12 when my current channel was made. Although I very quickly turned 13, so I didn't have to worry about anything anymore after that. Um,
Uh-huh.
so YouTube, I'm sorry, I did break your rules a tiny bit in the past, like for a very very short margin of time. I broke the rules. The feds are busting down my door right now. You're gonna have to do the rest of the interview by yourself.
I'll have to make up some stuff like
Just
sing or
ask
something. I
yourself
don't
your
know.
own questions.
I'll just do that. Yeah, that'll work.
Quick, I'm sharing you the Google Doc.
Okay,
Finish the
thank you,
interview
thank
by
you.
yourself. Okay, 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 okay.
That's
All
fine.
right. So where were we at? So you saw "Survive the Night" by Enchanted Mob,
That's for the night.
which again we're not getting into the drama, but we are gonna have to talk about some of their animations because they were a major part of
Uh-huh.
this. Um, but anyway, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
"Survive the Night" by Enchanted Mob, and you saw that, and then what? You started making FNAF animations.
Yeah, yeah. So I was really like blown away because I had just never thought to like mix the two things. And it's funny because I didn't even like FNAF. Like I just thought it was cool. I don't even know. I don't even remember. I was like a midget, not a midget. I was a fetus. That's the right word.
Something tells me your opinion has shifted since then.
Just a tiny bit, you know.
Just a
And
little bit. Just a
just a
tad.
little bit. Yeah, yeah. So, I was doing that and then I just kept, and then I think the video did well. So then I kept doing it. And then I kept
Wait,
doing
which
it and doing
video?
it.
Um.
My own, because I made my own version of Survive the Night. Very original.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mention that. Very, very original, very fun, very, yeah. And completely pitch black because I didn't know how to use lights. But I had so much fun with that video that I just kept doing more of them. And then, um, I think at that point I had started watching game theory and then I had learned about sister location. And then I didn't like the original FNAF games too much just because
And
of the
that's
way
when the
that they
circus
like
baby obsession started.
yup, yup. And I so then I really liked how sister location was very story driven. I really, really liked that. And so then I was
I,
very
yeah. Yeah, I
oh
do
no,
think the. No, no, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no,
I
no,
was
you're
gonna
good, you're good,
say.
you're
I was
good.
gonna say, the FNAF story is genuinely pretty good, up until UCN, where after which I
Yeah,
think it starts getting really confusing. Um,
it's bad, yeah. Yeah.
but
I lost
up,
I'm
up
lost
until
track of it.
UCN,
It's great, it's great.
it's great
It's a
up until
great
that
story.
point. So whenever
Exactly.
after Scott like stops being fully in control, I feel like things go absolutely
Things
haywire. I have
derailed.
no idea
Things derailed.
what the hell Steel Wool is
Exactly.
doing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care for FNAF anymore.
But yeah, up to UCN, good story. So,
Yes,
you
yes.
like circus? I want to say circus baby. What you like sis? That okay.
Sister location.
Sister location because of its story-driven aspects, which,
Yes.
yes, was pretty revolutionary at the time, and it was definitely the most impressive FNAF game. I think just because of how you can move
Agreed.
around in it and just the
Yeah, yeah, it
mechanics
was
of it
great.
all. Um, so that's
Yeah,
when
so
you
I was
started making sister location themed
videos,
animations, if I'm
yes.
getting this correct.
Yep, so then I had started a series on my channel called Fear the Sister Location, I think. And it had like it was pretty much
Very
baby's story.
intuitive name.
Yeah, thank you. It was pretty much baby's baby story. Like it was the first version of baby's
The
story.
prototype.
Yeah, yeah, the product exactly. It was like the glitch version of baby story. So, I had done that, and then I was very inspired by Do You Even, You Can't Hide from Enchanted Mob and stuff. I loved those videos. I remember, oh my gosh, I remember walking home from school from my bus and being told that You Can't Hide was gonna come out that day, and I was literally like, I was listening to the song and I was like in my head trying to figure out what the animation was gonna be like. I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna do this and this and this. I was so excited when it came out. I loved it so much. And so obviously I was like, I want to do this too. I love this. I obviously want to do stuff that I love. So, and then I had done Fear the Sister Location. I finished that series, but then people were like, I actually don't even remember. I feel like I had like 12 subscribers at the time. But I eventually had branched out and I think I started to do I don't even remember. I think I maybe started a bendy. No, no. I think I just did the same series again. But
You did a bendy animation, right? You had your own
I
version of
did.
Build Our Machine, right?
Yeah, I've done a few bendy animations. Um,
That's what I remember.
I
There
yeah.
was a Build Our Machine,
Mhm.
one by Enchanted Mob, one by you.
Yes, I actually had
I
two.
remember
I
that.
made two different. And so I eventually did Baby Story. Baby Story is really what like started to blow up my channel again. And then I had released You Belong Here. And then You Belong Here was the thing that really blew me up. And it was really crazy because like back then I wish I could go back to that mindset because like my channel was getting crazy numbers
Am
and I just
I?
like
Hold on a minute.
didn't
Am I getting
care.
something wrong? Am I getting something wrong
Oh,
here? Because
what
am
was it?
I getting something wrong here? Because I swear You Belong Here was in 2020, like in early
Oh,
20.
I made two
Oh,
different
you made two
versions.
different versions again.
Yeah,
Ethan,
yeah.
Ethan, your channel is so confusing.
It is so I
What
don't
is
even
this?
remember it. Right? I don't even remember it. It's a mess. But
Trying to get into your channel is like trying to get into a comic series where there's like 50 different issues you're supposed to start
oh
at.
yeah, 50 different issues, 10 different versions, version 1, version 2, version 5, prequel. It's a whole mess. I don't
Unraveling
even
the
remember it.
Ekrcoaster channel lore.
Seriously, it could be one of those like lore memes, I don't know. But
The Ekrcoaster iceberg.
the iceberg, yes. Oh my gosh, if someone made that, that'd be actually really cool. I'd be really curious what's on there. But so then I started to branch out and I did Bendy and I did Baldy and I did Granny. I did a Granny
You
video.
did Granny?
Yeah, I did it. That was the first video that
I
I
did not see
primarily
that
used
coming.
Eevee. Yeah, it was great. I really liked that video actually. I really
How
enjoyed
the
it.
hell do you make Eevee lighting look good? You have to be extremely talented to do that, don't you? I just
Thank you.
I default to cycles because I'm lazy.
Yeah, I used to use cycles, and then I remember when they added Eevee in like a pre-alpha, and I immediately was like, "How can I use this?" Back in the day, where rigs were not supported in Eevee, so you couldn't render with
It
a
is
rig.
extremely efficient to use Eevee, but you also have to be
Oh
really
yeah.
talented at lighting, or else it will look much, much worse.
Thank
But
you.
for what it's worth, it does seem like you knew how to use lighting, and your animations in Eevee do, in fact, look good, despite being
Thank
made in
you.
Eevee. That being
Yeah,
said, yeah. So,
my cycles lightings were
are
really
we
boring, and then
still? Are we? Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
you're
My
good, you're
bad.
good. You're good. My cycles lightings were very boring, but then as soon as I just got Eevee just works well with my brain, and then I was able to really do a good job with lighting. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, continue.
Okay, so we're at around 2017, going on 2018, maybe.
Yep, I
Okay,
think so.
so
Yeah.
just to gauge the timeline a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and then so obviously all the old Enchanted Mob videos, which honestly I have to say like a lot of their old videos, like from before they completely erupted into whatever they upload now, still hold up in some regards. I would
They
say,
do. They
like
do.
objectively as animations,
Oh,
without getting into like them as a company.
they're good. They're solid. Like I haven't watched them in a long time, but I still would. Like, oh, they were good. They were so
Yeah,
good.
honestly, they were pretty revolutionary, and I think they
They
did
were.
spearhead the whole trend of FNAF Minecraft
Oh,
animations.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
But
Yeah.
anyway, again, this is about you. So
Yeah.
we're going on 2018. Please continue.
So
My bad for interrupting you all the
2018.
time. Yeah,
You're all good. You're all
go
good.
ahead.
No worries. So 2018, I think this is when I was about what was I doing? Well, aside from the obvious of what I was doing in 2018, um, I had I was starting to like grow a distaste for the animation community, like very subtly. Like I wasn't happy. So then I started to like I had come up with
Oh,
an
sorry, I'm drinking
idea.
water.
Oh, no worries, no
That went
worries.
through in the recording. You were saying?
Yeah, so I had come up with an idea for I to be honest, I really loved Bendy at the time a lot. And I was like, I want to do that now. That's like a common thing with me. I find something I love and then I'm like, I want to do that. So
That's me
I was like,
too.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
you. I feel you, man.
So I was like, I want to do that. So I was with my friend and I was talking I was just like I need a good idea. I need a good idea to figure something out, you know? And I remember we were like we'd have hot tub sessions where we'd sit in the hot tub and just talk about game ideas. And eventually I came up, well, okay, I'm
Your
skipping a little bit.
IRL friend, right?
Yeah, my IRL friend. Um
Yeah, I was gonna ask,
I
how could you sit in the hot tub with someone you don't know in real life?
I was sitting with my laptop in the
The
hot tub.
virtual hot tub appointments.
Love that. So, okay, actually, I'm lying a bit. There's another game that I made before Glitch. It was pretty much a FNAF fan game that I had to make for school, but then, and it evolved, right? So I'm coming up with ideas for Glitch, and then oh my gosh. I came up with the idea for, pretty much Venge's idea of the not animation, the
Wasn't Venge in
studio.
production from 2017 to 2020, or am I getting the timeline wrong?
Yeah, kinda. So, Venge, as it stands currently, is like it's like a version 2 of Glitch, right? So
Okay, yeah,
I
I see
had
what you mean.
yeah,
So Glitch was
yeah,
the early prototype of Venge you came up with
pretty
in like
much, yep.
2017,
Mhm.
2018,
Yep.
and it was like sort of like your practice in game design in
Yeah,
preparation for
yeah.
Venge, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Exactly. And at the time I thought that was gonna be my game, but it flopped really hard, and which is all my fault. I'm not great at making games. But the idea was still there, and I still have the same ideas. And so I came up with all of those ideas in the hot tubs. And then I really started to focus on that, and then I ended up releasing Glitch, and then it was not good. Oh my gosh, that was a fun time. And so I kind of like took a step back, and I was like, okay,
You know
I
what?
need to like
You never get better if you don't make mistakes first.
exactly like I flopped hard so that I could make Venge. And I
My
mean,
first animations in 2019 were absolute trash. Like, don't even look back on them, please. They are so bad. But going
yeah,
into 2020, I like to think, at least somewhat decent.
yeah,
Although
yeah.
I have kind of been way too busy to do animation anymore for a while. But don't worry, I am looking back. I'm good. I'm looking into getting back into it. So
Yes.
more in the future will happen. So not to self promote. So
You're all
again,
good. You're all good.
so we have Glitch, and
Yeah.
then you step back from game design for a while, is what I'm hearing, and then
Yeah, I
you obviously
really.
continued with your animations on your channel, right?
Mhm. Yeah, so I kept going, and then I started silently working on Venge, thinking that it was just going to be an update for Glitch, but then it ended up becoming a whole different game. In the background, while I was like slowly stopping work on my channel was at this point like kind of dying in a very slow way, and I was like, I didn't care too much, which sounds awful, but like, I'm like 16 or whatever. And so
Well, you shouldn't
I
invest too much care into your YouTube channel. Like, that should be a
exactly,
side
yeah.
hobby
It
at
should be a side
best.
hobby.
Like, it should never
Yeah.
be your job. Like, I've heard way too many horror stories of YouTubers relying entirely on their channel for
Mhm.
money, and then YouTube screws them over in some way, and then they're just owned. They're just completely owned. So
Yeah, oh my
obviously,
gosh.
treat it
All
like a
too
side
real.
hobby, unless you're like Mr. Beast.
Unless you're
Please.
Mr. Beast, then you don't have to treat it like a side hobby. All too
Yeah.
relatable. Oh my gosh. So basically, so at that point, hold on, I'm like disoriented. But my own
Oh, take
story.
your time. Take your time. Take your time. It's all
Oh
good.
my gosh. So at that point, if I remember right, okay, when I had made my channel, at that point my family was moving and we were moving across the country to where I live now, which is somewhere in Arizona. And we were moving from Wisconsin, so quite the drastic move. And beginning
A little bit
freshman
of
year in high
distance.
school. Yeah, just it's a few miles. It's sort of walking distance. But
Yeah.
so
You're gonna have to take a couple steps.
a couple steps, maybe like 12 or something. But
Yep.
so we moved and then I had created my channel, and at this point my channel was relatively big. And I remember my real life friends in Wisconsin, some of them, not all of them, expressing like distaste for my channel because I would work on it more than I would like hang out with them, I think, if I remember right. I don't know, I was 14 or whatever. So I don't even yeah. So I had moved, and at
At
this
least you
point
had
I
friends.
oh yeah, getting to that.
I focused basically on my channel entirely, and I have very, very few social connections in real life outside of my family, and like maybe two or three people. But you
Yeah.
know what? It's okay because I have tons of friends online who I know really, really well, and
That's great. That's great.
yeah. So I don't feel like I'm devoid of any social. I'm still making this about myself. What is wrong with me? Okay.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
I really
So
do need to make a podcast all about myself now that I
you
think about
really,
it.
yeah, yeah. I feel like you do great. That sounds weird, but you know,
So I stop interrupting other people, you know?
get all of your juices out, right? So
Exactly.
um,
All right.
so I
So
had moved
yeah, you moved to
as my channel
Arizona.
was
Hmm.
getting bigger, and that's kind of crucial because I did not know anyone here, and I was a freshman in high school. I did not have really any friends except for one, and so I was spending all of my time on my channel, and obviously you can't do that because then you won't have, if you spend all of your time alone, then you're not going to have friends. Like that's just, it's easy math. So I had gone through my high school years, like this is what, freshman, sophomore year, and I did not have anyone except for one person, and then I eventually had a really horrible falling out with that person. But so then I had no one. And that's kind of scary because then I just had my channel, and that was the only way that I would communicate with other people. And this is like 2018-ish. And so I would spend all of my all of my time, like 12 hours a day, because I'd come home from school and then immediately work on my animations and immediately work on my channel. And that's all I would do. I would not do anything else. I would not leave the house. I would not do anything like that. And then I just
And
like
you would say this was a very unhealthy lifestyle to have at the
oh
time.
yeah, it was so bad. I started to get really like obviously I was very isolated and I was very socially awkward because I'm not developing like a normal person. And then all the stuff on the internet going down and everyone was like I was starting to slowly fall off of people's like kindness areas. Like not that's a weird word. Like people slowly started to stop liking me. And that was the only thing I had was
Ah, yes,
Discord
we
and
know where
YouTube.
this story ends.
Yeah. So then it gets bad. It gets really bad. But then, um, so then I eventually take a break afterwards, after everything goes down. Wait,
Yeah,
I'm
we know how this
confusing.
story goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Etc. Oh, sorry. Etc. Etc. I get better. Leave my channel for like 8 months, and then my channel dies.
I mean, yeah, that
So.
does tend to happen when you don't upload for 8 months. That happened with
Yeah.
this channel actually, with animation wins,
Shoot.
because Hoovian lost motivation. But we
Mm.
are working on restructuring it and getting
Mm.
content back out. So,
That's good. I
yeah.
I used to love animation wins. I'm excited that it's coming back.
Wait, you know animation wins? Like you've
Oh
watched
yeah.
their
Oh
videos
yeah.
before? You've
Oh
watched
yeah, of
Hoovian's videos
course.
before. Um,
Of course. I used to oh my gosh, I used to want them Hoovian to like win my videos back in 2018 and stuff. And I'm pretty
she
sure it was
definitely did. She winned quite a few of them, I think.
oh really? I thought that was only
Yeah,
one.
she
And I remember
from my understanding, she okay, I know for sure she won your version of what
now
was
hiring
it?
your Freddy's.
Now Hiring Freddy's. Yeah, I know for
Yeah, yeah,
sure
I
that
remember that
she
one.
win that one. I think she won one of your very early 2016 animations,
Oh
and
really?
something like I think it was Join Us for a Bite. If you ever made a version of that.
Oh no way. I'm gonna look that up because I'm actually
Yeah,
that's really cool.
she absolutely did. I remember that pretty clearly. Um, if you're confused, she came out as trans like last year, and that's why
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm saying she. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so
That's
anyway, yeah,
cool.
that's that. Yeah, she did win. I think she won at least 2 of your videos, and possibly more. If I could go back, I could go back and check, as I now own the channel.
Yeah, definitely check. I'm trying to look through and I can't
But
find
yeah,
anything, but I'm also
definitely.
not looking very
But
hard.
yeah, definitely. Like, Hoovian was a big fan of all the channels in the community. Yours, Enchanted Mob,
Oh
Examination.
yeah, yeah.
Not so much Enchanted Mob and Examination anymore after everything that went down.
Oh
Like
really?
her perspective has absolutely shifted at this point for
Oh
understandable
wow.
reason.
Yeah. Wow.
But she did always like your videos, I believe. If I had
Oh,
to guess. So that
that's
is
really
pretty cool to
sweet.
think about, right? Yeah.
That is really cool, yeah. Yeah, I remember that channel. Oh, look at that, she did.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. I
I
didn't even
think she
see that. I'm gonna have
wins
to watch
Join
that.
Us for a Bite. But
Yeah, yeah, she
anyway,
did. That's
where
so
were we
cool.
again?
I forgot something about
Yeah, something about
oh
you
yeah,
taking a break for 8 months and then
need
coming
to get a
back.
break, and then my
Yeah.
channel's dead. So, and then I tried to like, because obviously at that point I did not like animation at all. I was like, I am tired of this, and I was like, I hated that if I wanted to like keep up what I was doing and not have to get a real job, that I had to make FNAF videos, and that like made me mad because like I didn't like FNAF at that time anymore, and I was like, I
This
just
is
had to do
exactly.
it.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No,
Yeah,
you're
go
good. You're
ahead.
good. You're good.
This
So
is. Oh, god damn.
you're good. You're
My
good. Go ahead.
bad.
Go ahead. You're good.
Should I make my point or should I let you
Yeah,
continue?
yeah, you go, you go, you go.
This is exactly what I was talking about in my first video. In my first video, about like the Enchanted Mob history, I pointed out the whole consistent content trap thing, like where if you
Yep.
make a ton of content and it's like all around the
It's
same
tough.
theme, you cannot diverge from that, or you're gonna
Yep.
seriously bleed views. Um,
Yep.
so this is why
Yep.
it's always best to vary your content as much as possible and have your personality be the thing that's consistent, because then people will
Exactly.
watch for you and not for the content you make.
Exactly. Exactly. So then I
Well, they
tried to
will
do
watch for
that.
your content, but
Yeah.
they'll watch for you first and foremost. So.
Yeah. I did try to do that. I started to do like more experimental videos with like the challenges and stuff, and I really liked those. But then YouTube was just like punishing me for them, and I just lost motivation and I just stopped.
YouTube be
Um,
like, oh, we love our creators, but don't you
oh
dare be
yeah,
creative. Stick to this one
exactly.
thing forever if you want to keep getting views.
Exactly. And it's stupid because like the creator, like the studio, right? It's like giving me tips and it's like tip to expand your channel. Experiment with new content. And I'm like, I
Oh,
literally tried it and
really?
you punished me for it.
Oh, really, YouTube? Oh, really? You want me to do
Yeah.
that, YouTube? What? It's not like I've tried that for the last few years or anything,
Right,
YouTube.
exactly. So I had a few videos do
Yeah,
really
I
well. The
hate the
Cody
way that YouTube
video.
is managed, honestly. It is so
It is.
bad.
It's horrible. I don't like it. So I had a few videos do well. The 24-hour challenge, the Cody video, the Foxy video did pretty well, which I'm really proud of. And I just lost motivation, and I haven't touched my channel since. But then that's kind of when I started to lean into Venge more, and then Venge was like making me happier, and like I was doing a lot better with that. And then more recently, I've started making music now, and it's tied with Venge, so you can't like look me up on Spotify yet. But I make all of the music for Venge all by myself now, and I love that. It's like really cool. Again, another one of those things where I was like,
So
I
now you're
like
branching out
that. I'm
into
gonna do that.
music too. You're
Yeah, yeah,
at this point you're
yeah.
just doing everything.
Exactly.
You're
I'm
just
taking over
going
the
the Wilbur
world.
Soot route where you just do like three different things at once. Like the
Yes,
guy's
that's my
got
plan.
his Minecraft content, and then he's got like his music, and then he's got, honestly, he does a lot, man.
Yeah,
I'm kind
yeah.
of getting those vibes.
That'll be me. I'll take over the world. So,
I am anxiously awaiting.
ha ha ha.
I'll
So,
enforce your world order for you.
yes, thank you. That means a lot. So, okay. And
Okay,
so
so
yeah, so then I started working on Venge, and then Venge has been very slowly but surely growing. And at this point, Venge makes more than YouTube, which is not saying a lot because I get like $2 from YouTube a day. Because dead channel moment.
yeah, so I remember watching all your experimental content and really thinking it was cool. Like,
Thank you.
that was the
Thank
moment I
you.
really got into your channel, because honestly, like,
Really?
I didn't know much about you up until
Uh-huh.
like 2019. And
Yeah.
then 2020, when all of the drama went down. Like, I barely
Uh-huh.
knew who you were, if I'm being honest.
And
Um,
that's fair.
but now I've gotten more accustomed with your channel, and I loved all the experimental content. I thought it was really cool.
Thank
And it was a
you.
huge,
Thank you.
like, it was a huge difference from normal animation content. And
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
got back into animation, it's the type of content I would like to replicate in a way that isn't like copying. Um, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're definitely do
Absolutely
that. That'll
sucks
probably
how
help me
YouTube
too,
completely
like make it
punished.
more normal. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely sucks how YouTube punished
Mhm.
you for it, because that was legitimately like really cool
Mhm.
content, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad someone did. But yeah, so I mean, I'm working on new stuff right now, very carefully and very slowly, and very only when I want to, which is a very big change from how it used to be.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank goodness. That is a great mindset to have. Don't do
yeah,
stuff when you don't want to do
exactly.
it. Don't force yourself to do
Exactly.
stuff when you're not feeling it. Like, take the
Yes,
breaks,
don't do
take the
that.
rest.
Yeah,
Um,
art is needs to be back to my motivation.
yeah, you can't. You have to sleep on art, King. You have to sleep on art.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yep.
that's kind of my life history. I don't know.
The life story, the Ekrcoaster
Life story,
lore.
yeah. Ekrcoaster
All
lore,
right.
Ethan lore.
Is it
Yeah.
Ekrcoaster? Because I always thought it was Ekrcoaster. Am I
It's
stupid?
technically pronounced Ekrcoaster, and I've told people many times that, like especially like in 2018, but just no one listens, so I gave up. So you can call me whatever you
It's
want. Like
I'll just say Ethan,
extra,
obviously.
yeah, that
Or
works.
just,
Yeah,
you
that
know what?
works.
It's easier to just say Coaster for short, to be honest.
Poster works, or like Hey You, or like I don't know. Yeah, any of that works.
All right, so you're moving. So what would you say are your future plans besides obviously Venge? If you're planning to get back into animated content, what do you think is going to come next?
Well,
Are we
I
thinking more
have
music videos or something a little bit different?
So music videos don't pay well, which I hate saying because
Definitely
I don't want to
not.
do this for
Yeah.
money. But I'm in college. I have to be able to pay for gas to get to college, so I do have to make money. But music videos don't pay well at all, and I have a
Oh
horrible
no, not
history
at
of
all. Not
yeah
at all.
yeah I have a horrible history of trying to get rights. I would just get ignored, etc. etc. So
Especially when
um
the content is copyrighted. So you have to
exactly
rely on like one, two, maybe three
really
musicians who don't
popular videos
copyright their art. The best one
exactly.
probably for this is NFX. They don't copyright any of their
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
They let people use it. I believe there was an animator named Z Nathan who like constantly used NFX, and his videos blew up a lot, and he never had to worry about revenue issues because NFX straight up says in their description, we want people to use our songs and use them for their videos and grow their channel with them and use them like in a way that that's like it builds upon the original song. And
Yeah. That's
I'm not
really
sure if
cool.
you
I
know
love it
who
when they
Z
do that.
Nathan if you know who Z Nathan is. He makes
No,
some
I don't
cool
know that.
videos. He uses he's one of the Minimator guys, but like he is really talented at it to the point where it looks good despite being Minimator,
Uh-huh.
despite the program being limited. Um, I will say it does seem to be a lot more capable of a program now than it used to be. Um,
Oh, for sure. I've seen some crazy stuff with Minimator.
Skibs is definitely way up there on like I don't know if you know any of these people, but Skibs is pretty
I don't
talented with
really,
Minimator.
unfortunately.
But that's going to be a subject for a whole other day if I ever get to talking about that. Um, so not music videos. What do you think you have planned besides Venge,
Well,
obviously, which I know you're still
yeah.
working on constantly?
Oh yeah, constantly. So I will make music videos if I can, like, obviously, if they're fair, if I can make money from them. And I have been working on a new series, which is it's sort of like I don't think I've ever exclusive news here for a series that no one cares about. Um, I am working on a different version. It's like Baby's story, but not. It's not season 4. It's not a sequel. It's a
It's sort
different.
of like a new rendition,
Yeah,
like a new
it's a new
imagination of
rendition
it.
with a story that is completely my own, completely original.
Oh, so
And
I'm thinking something like what was that one channel who did the Afton backstory? I forget something
oh, I
silver
watched
something.
that. Oh, I love that video. That was
Okay,
so
it
cool.
was some channel with silver
Yeah,
in the name
yeah.
did that. I forgot
Like
exactly.
Silver SKK, something like that. I
I don't
love that
know,
video.
but there
I'll
was a
look them
number
up.
in that. Okay, but those were really good videos, like the whole
They
Afton
were.
backstory, because they built on the original premise of FNAF, and geez, I can't go
They
like
were.
5 minutes without bringing up something else. Geez.
Yeah, yeah, you're all good. So I am actively working on the series very slowly, only when I want to. So it might take a few decades to come out. Um, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
we
no
have
problem, no problem.
no problem. It might come
I'll
out
be
before
an
the sun
old man.
explodes.
I'll be an old man. In my retirement home, I'm gonna get a YouTube notification. Ekrcoaster
Yes.
uploaded.
Part
I'm like,
one.
finally. Part one. Chapter
Part
one.
one.
Prologue.
Yes, it'll be great. And then I am also, I don't know how in the world I got this to happen, but for the past like it's been a year, even though it shouldn't have been this long. I have been working with a group of people, which I rarely do. So I have a whole team with me. And I have been working
The
on
secret
this.
society.
Yeah, it is a secret society. And I have like so many unread DMs from them all because I have to
You're an
check them.
Illuminati member.
I'm an
The
Illuminati
true
member,
plot twist.
exactly.
The true
And
plot twist.
so we are working on a video that it is a series of videos. Not we are only making one, but other people have made the other versions, the other series of the videos, and the other series of the videos have done extremely well and have been really popular. So I'm very
Am
excited.
I? Would I know what these are if you told me?
Yes. Yes, you
Are
would
you going to tell
100%
me?
know. I don't know if I'm allowed to. I feel let me
Okay,
hold on.
probably don't. Assume you're
Let me
not. That would be
let me look
safe.
at yeah, let me look at my friend's channel because he might have said something on his. If he said something on his community tab post or whatever, then I'm 100% gonna tell you.
Yeah,
Hold
because like
on.
at that point he would probably be okay with you saying it. If
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Let's see. He's very. I'm looking at the channel. He's giving very ambiguous hints. So I don't think I can say it. But I am legitimately blown away that I'm working with this person. And so that's gonna come out
So this
hopefully
this is an
soon.
animated. This is an animated thing, right?
It's an animated thing. And there's gonna be 3 different versions of it on 3 different channels. One
When
of the
I get back
channels.
into animation, hit me up. I am joining. Okay, probably not. I won't be good enough, but I'll practice for a while.
Yeah.
No big deal on that
One
one.
of the
I
channels
have my own series
has
planned,
Yeah.
but
Here, I'll give you
that's
some hints. I'll give you
totally
some hints.
that is absolutely a topic for another time. So yeah, carry on.
Okay. So I'll give you some hints on what this is. One of the channels involved has 3 million subscribers, and the first video of the
Wow,
series that
really?
we did not make, yeah, the first video of the series that we did not make, but it's a part of the same series, has 100 million views. So,
Okay,
needless to
okay.
say, there's a lot of pressure, and I'm very excited. And knowing me, it's gonna flop, but I'm very excited. So that's what I've been doing.
Hope for the
Um,
worst so that you can be blown away.
exactly,
Just
exactly.
expect the worst so that if it gets big, you're shocked.
So I'm shocked, exactly. So I'm doing that, working on Venge, working on Act 2, working on Act 1 and 0 2.0. That's pretty much all I've been really doing. And
I should honestly start playing the game and like,
you should,
do
that'd be
content
cool.
about it.
You
That'd be
should, that'd
fun,
be
and like
so
do like
cool.
theories and stuff.
Oh, I'd love that. You should do that. That'd be so
I,
cool.
if I start doing theories on Venge and somehow it gets picked up by MatPat, jeez, that's gonna be
You should do
insane.
it. You should
If
do it.
I
You
can
should totally
somehow
do
get it
it.
picked up by MatPat, that would be hilarious. But
That would be so cool. That'd be so cool. You could like get hired or something. I don't know. That'd be so
I
cool.
remember I was so amazed when my jaw dropped on the floor when I saw that one MatPat video where he like actively called out mob games for the NFTs.
I have seen clips of
Oh,
that.
that was
That's
oh that he they got that was an own. That was an absolute
yeah,
own.
a solid win.
Big respect for MatPat on that one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah,
anyway.
you're good. Um,
Anyway,
yeah,
that is really exciting. Is there anything else you'd
it
like to
is.
talk about regarding your new projects, or are you think we're good here? Or you think we're done?
I think we're good. I'm doing a lot
All
of
right.
developer commentaries. They're cool. Watch them.
Oh
I won't
yeah,
even sugarcoat
totally.
it.
I okay. Your audio glitched out for a second.
Oh, I pretty much just like threaten the audience to watch them or else.
Yes, only moral methods, my friends. Only moral
Exactly, exactly.
methods.
We're moral here. Go watch it
We're
or
very
else.
moral. We're very
There's
moral,
like
everybody.
exactly. There's like 6 or 7 videos. Go watch all of them. I'll be keeping
Yeah, go
track.
watch all of them. Don't look out the window. We definitely don't have armed mercenaries outside your
Arms
house at this
mercenary.
very
Exactly.
moment.
Yeah, they're already ready.
Please,
They're just there hypothetically, in case you like break the
just
law.
hypothetically, for
Yeah.
the sake of
Hypothetically.
just hypothetically for the sake of the
Hypothetically.
discussion,
Exactly.
if there
Exactly.
were mercenaries outside your door,
And
would you watch the
hypothetically,
videos?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Hypothetically, if there was, you should watch it. And
Let me put
hypothetically, if
on
you
my Ben
didn't watch
Shapiro
it.
impression. So hypothetically, for the sake of the discussion.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we are insane. We are
Iconic. We are.
insane.
We
Okay.
are. We really are.
All right.
Gonna get
So,
canceled.
oh, we're gonna get canceled so many times.
Yeah, right.
This
Okay,
is why you
what were we
abandoned
saying?
your channel. You can't get
Yep.
canceled if you
Mhm.
have nothing to be if you have you
Exactly.
can't get
See,
canceled if you have nothing left in the first place.
exactly. It's like genius, actually. That's yeah. Anyway,
It's
continue.
like if you give away all your money, you'll never get robbed.
True. True. Yeah, true. Unless they like somehow find a way to make negative money.
Oh
Going bad.
no, the crypto market be like,
The crypto market be like, oh my gosh. But yeah.
no, the monkey pictures. No, why'd
No,
I
no, no,
spend all my life savings on the monkey pictures?
no. All the monkey pictures. The monkey
No.
movie.
Oh my god, okay, have you seen the Red Ape Family show? Have you heard of that?
What is
Okay,
it?
it's an NFT series. It's an NFT cartoon with red
Is it with
apes.
the one with the monkeys?
Yes!
I
It's
have
so
seen that.
bad.
I watched a video called screenshotting the NFT movie, and it was just someone like on their
It's
iPad just
so
watching the movie
bad.
and just
It's like,
screenshotting it.
I don't know, there's really, you can't really describe the plot because it's so scattershot, but like, it's something
Oh,
involving space marines, and they are
space.
like doing a heist, and like, Dude,
Sounds
it's
fun
so
though.
bad. It is like the most soulless content you could ever put out.
I mean, it works. It fits it.
It's so soulless, you would think Enchanted Bob was behind. Okay. 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 Okay, enough shade. I'm not throwing any more shade after
No
this.
shit. It's so
Okay.
dark in here. Oh my gosh.
It's getting like that for me too. Um, I live in Canada in Ontario, which
Ooh.
isn't EST, so I'm actually hours ahead of you. Um,
Oh, what time is it for you now?
which means it's way darker for me, I would think. 10 p.m.
Oh, okay. Oh wow. You're
I
three
can
hours
I
ahead
can
of me.
still I can still talk for quite a while though. Don't worry about it.
Cool, cool, cool.
All right,
Awesome.
so on this list for interview questions, we are almost an hour in, and I haven't gotten to the second one. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine.
Love that. Love that.
That's fine. Okay. What are your thoughts on some of the original Minecraft animators like Element Animation, Slam Macau? You already said BPS. Have what
Element
about
animation. I love element animation. Oh, Villager News. Oh my gosh.
Villager
My
News?
favorite.
Is such a classic. Like
It
that,
is. My favorite is
even
Your Door Was Locked. I love
it
that.
holds up now, even today. Like in
It
terms of
does.
comedy, I would say.
It does. It does. It
Um,
does. 100%.
And then you have
They aged
Slammacow, who
well.
made pretty cool videos. I don't know when is the last time he ever uploaded anything. I think like 2017.
Yeah, right. I had
I
never
don't know
watched.
if
I
he
never
still
got into
animates, but
Famicom.
I never did either. But I know he existed. I
Yeah,
know
same.
I've watched. I did watch the Witch Encounter video for sure because that was just everywhere at one point. Like it was his most
Oh,
popular.
okay.
The one with the dance off.
The dance off. The
But
dance
yeah,
off.
his animations were definitely pretty strong.
No, they were. They
Especially for the
were.
time. Element was
Mhm.
amazing for its time as well.
Oh yeah.
There was obviously
Speaking
stuff
of
like Fallen Kingdom, Take
Fallen
Back the
Kingdom was
Night,
good.
which were really impressive. I don't know if this
They
is a
were.
hot take, but like Take Back the Night is like significantly better than Fallen Kingdom, and not just because it's made later and has some better animation. I just think it's overall kind of like a better, um, it's kind of like better just overall in my
Uh-huh.
opinion. I don't know how to describe it. You know what? Huvian says this perfectly in her video on Fallen Kingdom, or was it Take Back the Night? I forget which, but she explains that take, and I agree with it. So, um, yeah. So what? So anyway, moving on to the next question. In regards to the different aspects of animation, like the different things you have to do when animating, what do you
Uh-huh.
think is the most difficult?
The most difficult. Um, Animating for sure. That's the most frustrating part too.
But I said
And
like, what's the
getting
most frustrating part of animating?
like animating itself, like moving all the bones and then like
Oh
timing it
yeah,
and
I was
stuff. Yeah.
thinking that too. I
Yeah, that's the
when
hardest
I
part.
was still doing animation, I thought lip syncing would be difficult, and I
Uh-huh.
talked to Inspiration about this. If you don't know, he worked on Songs of War a little bit.
Oh, okay, okay.
He worked on, if you know what that is, you probably do.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
he did the bloopers for Songs of War. He didn't actually animate any of the series itself, but he did some of the
Oh,
bloopers.
okay.
He's a friend of mine, so I contacted him. I was like, "Hey, Spy, how difficult is lip syncing? I'm gonna try it for the first time." And he said, "It's not that hard. It's just really time consuming." And then I tried it, and I'm like, "Wait, no, lip syncing is extremely easy. All you have to do is just get a picture of what the lips are supposed to look like, depending on
True.
the vowel on the sound that's coming out, and then match it up with the audio file, and then do that
Mhm.
constantly for all the keyframes." And yes, it's time consuming in some regards, but it's not really that difficult to do,
Right,
especially when the
right.
rig gives you controls to do it.
It's very annoying though.
It is annoying because it's time consuming, but like the actual
Mhm.
process of doing it isn't very difficult, I would say. Moving the bones,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
It
hard, yeah.
is terribly hard, especially because
It
like
is.
in the end, it doesn't. It often looks very, very lackluster, and then you have to revise it like 1,500 times to make it look decent.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I
At least
do
from
not
my
miss that.
experience. Just
I do
not fun at
not miss
all.
that at
But
all.
moving on to the next question, as we can segue into this, counterpoint to the last question, what would be the most fun part of animation?
Lighting and
Um,
special effects.
lighting
Those
and
were my
special effects. I
favorite.
figured you were gonna say that.
Love those so
I was
much.
thinking in my head. I was thinking in my head as I was asking this question. As I was asking the question, I was thinking to myself, he's gonna say lighting, isn't he?
Yeah, I love lighting. I love lighting and special effects. Oh my gosh, I love them.
I know nothing about lighting. Granted, I never really got far in animating, but when I get back
Mhm.
into that, I am absolutely gonna need to learn lighting. Please
Yeah,
tutor
lighting
me on
is
this
fun.
one.
So I don't really know. I just kind of so what I for my lighting style is not some people don't like it. I am very like exaggerated with it. I really like it. I love colors. I love very exaggerated areas. So I typically will have a main light on the character, which is a white light, and it's usually a point light or something like that, or a spotlight. And then the background or the other areas I fill with very vibrant filler colors. Like, for
The void scene!
example,
The void scene!
yep,
No!
pretty much. Pretty much. It's very like just filling in it like that. And I love blues. I love pinks. I love greens. I love yellows. Oh, I love yellows so much.
Man, I
And
love color. Man, I love
yeah.
Ekrcoaster animations. I wish color was real.
Exactly. Oh, it's so cool. Like with Venge, for example, the flip dimension where
It's
all of
canon to your backstory that you invented color.
it
The
is,
reason.
exactly.
Look at all the black and white photos from like the 1930s. Why
Exactly.
do you
And then I
think
was
they're black
born.
and white? Ekrcoaster
I wasn't
wasn't
born yet.
there.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly right. And
That's
then I
all
invented
canon. That's
color,
real life
and it
lore.
changed the world. Yep. That's
Exactly.
lore, yeah. Yeah, I should be in
Just
the
ask
Wikipedia for
God.
color.
Just ask God.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll
There you go.
confirm it. He'll confirm it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
So it's
lighting. Yeah.
yeah, so it's fun with like Venge, where in the real world I have to stick with like normal light colors. Like obviously a building is not gonna have pink lights. But for like the flipped world where the majority of Venge takes place, I can go crazy. So there's like green lights. I really love pink and purple, and I use that a lot, and they're really pretty. But I would say if you're trying to do lighting, just get creative and don't care what anyone thinks. Like if it looks good to
Based.
you, yeah, if it looks good to you, that's all that matters.
True.
It
True.
You don't have to appease anyone else. Like do what you think works best. And that like applies to everything. Like if you think your animation looks good, great, it does. That's all that matters. It does not matter
Thank you for
what
the
some random
thank
person thinks.
thank you very much for the advice. I am now going to become the most pretentious person imaginable. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That is actually really good advice.
Thank you.
Be
Thank
confident
you.
with yourself.
Exactly.
Obviously, like, heed criticism at times. Like, if
Hmm.
someone is trying to constructively criticize you and is saying helpful stuff,
Hmm.
that's great.
That's great.
But if someone is just being mean for the sake of it, then that's when you just tell them to shut up or ignore them.
That's
That's
when
when
you
you
like attack them
that's
and
when
like
you
send the
just
police
stop
after them.
caring. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
when you dox them. That's
That's
when
when you
that's
dox
when you just pull out the dream strategy.
them. Dream strategy.
Minecraft manhunt on my critics. It will happen. Okay, I'm
Love
dead.
that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're being so problematic today.
Oh, I'm gonna get canceled. Okay. Um, what are some of the animations you're the most proud of, like, of all the ones you've made?
Ooh. Ooh, I
Any specifics?
actually yeah, of course. The one that I'm working on right now with by myself, the series. I love that one. I love some of my earlier ones. Like there's one I baked a cake. Oops, sorry. I baked a cake, still super proud of that one. You Belong Here version 2, loved that one.
Oh, I actually watched that
Um,
one and it was pretty awesome, yeah.
thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
the 2020 version?
Yeah, the 2020 version. Actually, let
Yeah,
me look
that
up
was
on my
sick.
channel.
I felt like I was watching the animation, I was like, "Damn, this is so smooth. Like this is so
Thank
impressive."
you. Thank you. Yeah, let me look on my channel because to be honest, I completely forgot which ones I animated. Um, Can't Be Erased was good. Can't Be Erased was good. I loved Portals Up, but no one cared about that one.
Portals
Um,
Up?
Portals Up, yeah. It's been so
Was
long, no
that
one cared about that one either.
was was Portals Up a Portal animation? I must be
Yeah,
stupid for
yeah,
asking that
yeah.
question. I
No, you're good,
vaguely
you're good.
remember. I vaguely remember seeing that, or maybe it was the Cubicle one that I saw.
Uh-huh.
I think there was one by Cubicle, and it might have been a different song, but it was also about Portal. Um, um,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Anything else? So we have Portals
Um,
Up was good. What was the one you just mentioned?
the Can't Be Erased.
Oh yeah, Can't Be Erased. Yeah, I remember
And
that being
Builder
good
Machine
too.
was good too, yeah.
The one
All
you
of those
made,
are
yeah.
solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah, I mean, like, contrary to what some people would say, I think you were really talented in animation. Like, your
thank
animations look
you.
good. And I
Thank
know I
you.
may be a bit, like, I might be a bit my logic might be a bit wrong because I'm looking at it from the perspective of my skills, and I'm like, okay, so this guy is definitely doing a lot better than I think I ever could.
Oh,
So, but
that's not
besides
true.
that, like even disregarding, I
Yeah,
think your work was extremely impressive and continues to be to this day. From the last time I saw
thank
it,
you.
which was in your experimental. I mean, dude, you animated a video in like 24 hours, and it still looked
24
on par with
hours.
most of your stuff that was
Thank
animated
you.
not in 24 hours. Like, I don't know how, but
Thank
yeah,
you.
it was
That
really
video was
impressive.
Thank you. That video was fun because I actually it the 24 hours is a bit misleading because I finished the video because I slept for 8 hours during it. So
So
and you
you
can like see it
actually
on the
did
video
it. So you
in
actually
like
did
12
it in
hours.
like 16 hours.
Yeah, maybe less than that because I was working on the video and then like halfway through I got bored. So then I played Minecraft for like 4 or 5 hours and then I went to bed and then I woke
Giga
up and
Chad
then I finished
energy.
it.
Oh my god.
And
How
then I woke
humble
up
of
and
you
then I
to still
finished
say
it.
24 hours.
Yeah. I was gonna make a 12-hour animation challenge, but then I just lost motivation. But
10
maybe I
second
will.
animation challenge.
And
Let's
second
go.
animation challenge. Yes.
How much can we animate in 10 seconds?
That'd be hard, because like it takes more than 10 seconds to even set up a scene.
You can
But
at the very most you might be able to get in one motion before your time runs out.
probably,
You might be
yeah.
able to like really move fast and maybe set up like two keyframes and have one minor motion. Like that
One
is the
minor
most you could
motion.
possibly do. And you would have to have like the dexterity of I don't know what a good analogy is. You would have to have extreme dexterity to even be able to do that.
Yeah, like a speed typer or something.
Exactly. And I am pretty fast at typing, so maybe I could do it. Who knows?
You should try
Um
it. Go for it.
I'll make that one of my videos.
Yes,
Um
do it. Yeah. Oh, another one that I'm really proud of is now open. That FNAF VR one I did.
I do not remember that, but
I loved that one. That one was gory. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just going through a phase back then.
ah yes.
It was great. But yeah, there's a lot of videos that I like.
Yeah, I mean like it's good to look back on your content and like and be happy with it cuz like I feel like
Yes.
a lot of YouTubers make this whole joke about looking at their past content and be like, "Oh, what was I on? What was I doing? Why did I do this? Why did I make this?" But it's just nice to look back on your content and be happy with it for like a
Exactly.
time. Like
Exactly.
I know it's like it's cool to like have the self-improvement mindset, but you shouldn't be like too hard on your past self like at all times. Like
Right.
you have to give them some merits. Like they were hardworking, they were passionate just like you were. Like they were literally
True.
you like years ago.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
you can't treat them like a separate you can't treat your past self like a separate person who was like not at all the person you want to be because even if you've done stuff you're not proud of, you still have to own up to the fact that it was you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, true.
Um
Yeah.
yeah. That really just applies to anything, honestly.
It does, it does.
I've actually exhausted the list of questions, but
Oh, really?
I would be glad to keep talking about random stuff
Yeah,
because
of course, of course.
so yeah, so that's all the most proud videos of yours.
Uh-huh.
I gotta say, I if I had to pick some of my proudest animations,
Uh-huh.
um, honestly, my animations are not too good. I kind of stopped doing them after 2020. But if I had to pick maybe my favorite one of all, okay, well, it's not objectively the best, but I made a music video called Destiny in mid 2020, which
Oh.
was based on Songs of War, one of my favorite characters from Songs of War, which is Captain Kyoshi. So I
Uh-huh.
based that's what I based the video on, and I've watched it a couple times since I uploaded it, and it is not objectively it's not the best animation I made, which isn't saying much anyway, because I hadn't practiced animation too much at the time. I hadn't really honed my skills, and I went to a recession, but like it even though it wasn't my best, I still think it
Mhm.
was the one I had the most fun with making and the one I'm most proud of because despite the quality not being like the best, it was the only time I animated a full music video, and never gave up on it,
Whoa.
which was
Okay,
awesome to
okay.
me.
That's great.
Um,
Yeah.
and I'm looking into finally getting into more animation videos, music videos, and even though they don't pay well, but that's where stuff like Netflix comes in, which I mentioned earlier. I'll be
Uh-huh.
using some of their songs. Obviously, there's the Fat Rat, who I believe also has the policy where you can use their songs. Um,
Oh, that's
there's
cool.
there's obviously no copyright sounds, which is like the biggest distributor of non-copyrighted music, which definitely I'm considering as well. Um,
Mhm.
and I have like a vague story planned out for a series I could be doing in the future. Mind you, back when I made Destiny, when I was first doing animations, I started out with Minimator, and then I started in late 2019, and then I was using Minimator at first just to practice like the basics of animation. I switched to
Mhm.
Blender in mid 2020, um,
Okay.
and I currently use Blender, and I say use very lightly because I haven't animated in a very long time, but I still occasionally do renders. Um,
Uh-huh.
so I still know how Blender works. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to get back into animation. Obviously, school is a big hindrance in that regard. I'm in grade 11. I'm getting to the point where I really do have to start caring about my marks first and foremost, or else, um,
Yeah.
I mean, with the university I'm going to, I probably should be able to get in with the marks I have now, but I don't want to let it fall any lower, and I definitely do want to improve them anyway, just
That's
for the
good. That's
sake of
good.
feeling good about it. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, that's how things are going for me right now. And I probably yeah, so sorry for making it about myself again, but
You're all good. You're all good. Don't worry about it.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's super cool.
that's basically where I'm headed. I have considered starting a studio. Um
Oh, okay.
but I do feel like maybe I should put the first animated music videos I start doing on my main channel because they're gonna get more traction that way. I don't feel like putting them on an
Yeah.
entirely new channel. Like, I don't know about making a studio, to be honest. Um, I actually had this cool idea for a studio that wasn't like a conventional studio, but
Oh,
was
how
more
did it
like
work?
a. So, do you know what a co-op is? A cooperative workplace. I feel
Yeah, yeah,
like. Oh,
yeah.
excuse me, 1 second. I gotta go.
Okay. All right. I don't know if it's gonna be edited, so if it is edited, then you can just cut the start out. Otherwise, I guess I'll just fill the silence. Um, I can hear like Cody in the background, just like playing with his toys. It's very fun.
I'm back. My brother walked into the
Oh,
room.
hi. Oh,
Yeah.
cool, cool, cool.
So what was
I
I
just couldn't
saying?
hear audio. I don't know.
Cooperative business. Basically, that's a business
Cooperative.
where instead of it being owned by so you know how a conventional business works, like how they have like
Yeah, yeah. A
there's the
CEO and stuff.
CEO, there's there's the managers under them, and then there's the workers, and there's like a hierarchy and stuff. And
Right.
especially in countries like the United States and Canada where I live, and just like Western countries in general, the sometimes it can get really bad. Like sometimes people can be fired for stupid reasons. Sometimes the management is bad. Sometimes they just oftentimes they are well, obviously there's a profit motive. Oftentimes, like they're trying to make money and they have to cut corners, and sometimes it's not a good experience for the employee.
Right.
Especially with animation. You've probably heard
Uh-huh.
something about the new deal for animation, trending and stuff. That has been a huge thing. Animators in all sorts of studios have been demanding way better wages, way better working conditions. I'm
Oh, that's
100%
good.
behind this movement as someone who's dabbled in animation before and loves animated movies and content. Um, so what I was thinking for my studio, a cooperative business is way different from a conventional business because it's collectively owned and managed by all the workers who are there. So they
Oh, okay.
actually have this like, so it has like it's like system of somewhat democracy in the workplace where like straight up the workers can vote on what to do, or maybe not that straight up, but they talk to each other and make decisions as a group, and
Uh-huh.
they own the business. Like they all have their shares of the business. There's no upper management. Like if you work there, you have a say in how that business is run. Which
Okay.
I think is such a cool idea as conceptually speaking. Um,
Uh-huh.
it is there's some like experiments with cooperative businesses going on in the world. I think there's a big one in Spain, um, for example, and it's showing a lot of promise. And I was thinking, how about I make a Minecraft animation studio under that principle instead of like a conventional one, where instead of like
Mhm.
me being the manager and there being workers, how about I obviously someone still has to like prop up the company like as like as like for like public relations and stuff, but like how about instead of running the company as like a manager, I'm one of the workers who works there, and then there's like a bunch of other people and we all make decisions as a group for the
Mhm.
betterment of all the people who work there. So basically eliminating the chance of poor workplace conditions, because like everyone is going to have a say on how it's run.
Yeah,
um
yeah.
like they're just gonna, if they don't like something that's happening at the studio, they're straight up just gonna they're gonna convene about it and they're gonna solve it, instead of just asking the manager, who the manager will just fire them if they complain. So
Right.
um that was my goal for animation studio. I do not think I'm ready to do that yet. I don't think I have the following to form one. So I want to get big on my main channel first and foremost, and then I mean I have seen some staggering success because of the videos I've uploaded.
Uh-huh.
But that's not going to last. I have to get like a real content plan going, and I have to really like get invested in it without being unhealthy about it. Obviously, I have to spend
Yeah,
less
yeah,
time online
that's
in
important.
general, but
Yeah.
I do have to put some effort into my YouTube channel. If I'm not constantly trying to do things, I will be less burnt out, and then I'll have better content. So that's obviously the most important thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
Yes.
so I feel like I can take some lessons from your backstory and like when you
Definitely,
were
yeah,
overworking.
100%.
And yes, so that's what I'm going to be doing in the future. Um,
That's good.
just
That's
on
really
that
good.
side tangent, and
Mhm.
I'm excited for what you're doing as well in the future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very
I
very
am
hyped for
too.
your future projects. Um,
Thank
so
you.
you want to just spend this next part talking about animated stuff we like? Um, why not?
Sure. Yeah, sure, why not?
You said way back at the beginning of this episode, way back, you said that when Frozen came out, you loved that movie.
Yes, I love Frozen so much. Oh my
And that
gosh.
was way back. That was 2013. I
That was a
cannot
while
believe
ago.
9
Yeah.
years ago. 9
9 years
years.
ago.
Yeah,
Yup.
that is crazy to think about. That is
Yeah.
insane. Um,
It's crazy.
Definitely a visually impressive movie from Disney. And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
obviously when it's Disney, like you have fantastic animation in 3D animation category, and then you have stuff like
Mhm.
Pixar, you have stuff
Oh,
like
Pixar.
DreamWorks, you have
Oh.
Sony Pictures Animations has actually been pumping out some bangers recently. They never
Oh, like
had the
what?
best track record, but ever since, I feel like they have definitely been on an upward slope ever since Spider-Verse came out.
Oh, Spider-Verse. I've never watched that movie, but I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, it is a pretty good movie. Anime visually like stunning in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
Very funny, very entertaining. Pretty heartfelt at times. Absolute banger of a movie. And that was the first time Sony Pictures Animation really won.
That's
I guess you could
good.
say like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was really good
Oh, that
too.
was a
But
good
that
one
was
too. That
like
was a good
back in
one.
2009. Um, More recently, Mitchell's versus the Machines came out in 2021, which is like one of my favorite animated movies ever. Like I love
Oh,
that movie.
really?
In fact,
I've never watched
to
it.
in fact, 1 year ago on this day was the first time I watched that movie. Crazy to think about that.
Oh,
And then I watched it.
wow.
Then I watched it again the next day with my family, and we were all very impressed. We love that movie a lot.
That's
It
cool.
means a lot to me, and yeah, it's nice to see.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that it has lasted for well over a year. Completely snubbed at the Oscars. What, bruh? That was just a bruh moment. Um, Although
Yeah.
to be fair, Encanto was also a very good movie.
Encanto
Um,
was good. I loved Encanto.
Also a very good movie, deserving of the Oscar if not Mitchell's. Um,
Mhm.
Even though I know the people who are judging those movies do not watch them, they just
Yes.
go for whoever campaigns the hardest. Oh, I could go on a whole tangent about how terrible the Oscars is.
Oh, the
Ugh.
Oscars and Grammys. Oh my gosh, they're awful.
Like it is just so obvious that they're just out of touch with everything. Like hire new
Mhm.
people. Like hire people who are actually passionate in this industry, please. Oh my god.
Right?
Like, it's
For
all like
real.
middle-aged celebrities who are doing all the ranking. Like,
Yeah.
they're so out of touch with everything.
They are. They don't understand. It's annoying.
Exactly. It is annoying. The Will Smith slap was probably the most interesting thing that has ever come out of the Oscars, ever.
True. True.
And on a
That is
side
true.
tangent, I'm so confused at how why does everyone still talk about that? Like,
I don't know. Who
it was
knows?
such a to me it was such a tiny deal. Like, it's not like someone was stabbed or anything. And then there's like these celebrities who are like, "Oh, I was so traumatized by this. My entire world was shattered." Bro,
Traumatized.
you watched
Oh my
someone get
god.
slapped. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Snowflakes.
these people are like they're rich as hell. They have like everything in the world, and they're like, "Oh, we were so traumatized because someone got slapped."
Like, oh my gosh. Poor
Holy
you.
hell. Like,
Wow. Go cry
bro,
about it in your
like,
$1 million bathtub.
yeah, like, bro, you're talking about being traumatized by a slap. At the same time, literal wars are going on.
Right?
What
Oh
are
my
you
gosh.
on,
Who
bro?
knows? Who knows?
Oh
Oh my
man,
god.
just the rich people disconnect from reality. I could go on and on.
It's iconic.
They're on a whole other plane of existence.
They
Um,
really are.
so you mentioned Phineas and Ferb as well as being a
Yes.
fantastic show.
I love that
Again,
show.
never watched it, but I kind of wish I did.
You should.
Because
You
it
should. It's not
seems
too
like an
late.
amazing show.
Yeah, it's
You
great.
know what? I definitely could. Because
Yeah.
I recently, last year, watched Gravity Falls for the first time, which
Oh, how'd that go?
is also an amazing show. That I somehow
Hmm.
had missed up until this point. It
Hmm.
was so good. Like, amazing stuff. Like, I'm the thing is, of course, the experience was a bit hindered because it was like at that point the show had been finished for like 5 years. I kind of knew
Uh-huh.
how it ended. It was pretty big,
Oh, okay,
um,
okay.
but it was still really fun to see all that play out. Um,
Yeah.
and then there's another show that I'm currently obsessed with that is still ongoing. It's called The Owl House.
The Owl
You may have
House.
heard
I've
of
never heard of
that.
that.
I'm surprised you haven't. It's actually pretty popular, I think.
Is it
It's a
like
new Disney
Netflix?
show. No, it's on Disney Plus.
Oh. Okay, okay, okay.
If you look
Yeah,
it up
I've never
right
heard of
now, you'll probably see something that might tick something in your head. Like, you might have seen an image from that show at some point. If you look it up. But point is, that is a really good show. Like, honestly, probably my favorite Disney property so far.
Oh, really? Wow.
Not maybe so far isn't the right word, but definitely in recent times. There's a lot of there is a lot of stuff that Disney is pumping out these days. Mainly the MCU, which honestly I'm kind of disillusioned with at this point. Like, they are
Yeah,
absolutely overloading the MCU at this point with all this different stuff, and it's getting overwhelming. And the
exactly.
writing is extremely confusing and inconsistent. And there's good videos on this, and it does feel like they don't really care about what they're writing at this point. But the Owl House, now that's a banger. That is
Yeah, it looks really cool.
it is fantastic. If like especially season two. I watched season one back last year. I actually have a review of it. I think, and I'm working on scripting a review of season two because I've seen the 19 episodes of season two that are out now. There's two more yet to come. Um,
Hmm.
it is such a good show, man. Like, if you ever have time to check it out, I totally recommend. It is at first it's not like it's mainly just fun vibes like for the first season,
Yeah.
and then a mystery starts, and then there's like this mystery that starts. There's an overarching plot that starts up about like midway through the first season, and then you get hints at it. It kind of builds up a bit, and then once you get to the end of season one is pretty insane. But then if you get to the end of then when you get to season two, it is hyper focused on the mystery. Like, it is hyper
Oh,
focused.
okay,
There
that's
is
cool.
no
That's cool.
filler. The characters obviously are still fun. Like, there's obviously still like fun adventures, but all of them are linked back to the main plot. Like, there
That's
is
good.
no filler. Like, it is tightly written when season two begins.
That's really good.
And just to not to spoil it too much, but like, they fix a plot hole with a time travel episode. I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
They're really talented at writing too, because that is something that you can easily screw up. A time travel episode. So to think
Yeah,
that
those are dangerous.
not only did they get that right, not only did they do that in a way that makes sense, but they also fixed a plot hole in the process by doing it. And you'll
That's
know what I
really
mean if you
cool.
watch the show. I'm gonna talk about it in my review when it comes out. Um, but yeah, it is a fantastic series. and also gay people, because there is because
Mm.
let me just say this, because um they have like there's the main pairing of the show, like, which is like really like front and center for the show, is
Uh-huh.
the female protagonist with another female love interest, and it is such a
Oh,
good.
that's cool.
It's so cool though. Like, it's not
Look
like
at Disney go.
performative, or it's not performative, or
It's just
like
there.
it's not like obvious, like, because sometimes whenever you get like this crumb of representation, it's like it's kind of obvious that the executives were just like, okay, so how can we make money? Let's just throw in this
Right,
character
right.
like for 5 seconds and then cut it out in other countries where they don't want it. But this was actually pretty genuine, because the creator of the show is bi, like me. The main character of the show is bi, like me, and honestly, the show kind of helped me realize that now that I think about it. But anyway, um, right up front and center, the main romantic pairing of the show is between two teenage girls, and it is such a good, well written like relationship, and it
That's
develops like
good.
properly over the course of the show. It is.
That's really good.
Oh, I could go on about it for ages, but I would have to use spoilers, and I don't want to do that. You should watch it for yourself if you want to. If you want to find out, it is. Oh, it is just chef's kiss, brilliance. Probably my favorite. Honestly, my favorite show of all time, if I'm really being
Wow.
honest. Um, like, currently, I am just obsessed. If like, on my Twitter, I am constantly reposting art of the Owl House and like talking about it about as much as, like, I'm talking about anything else. So
Yeah, yeah.
way more than I'm talking about other things. I worded that really confusingly, but yeah, you know
You're
what I'm
good, you're good,
saying.
you're good. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's super
So
cool. I wanna watch it.
you can watch it on Disney Plus if you have that.
I do have Disney Plus.
Okay, so all of the episodes should be available for you on Disney Plus for both season 1 and season 2. In Canada,
Cool.
season 1 is the only one that's currently available. There is
Oh,
a
okay.
third-party site that thankfully does have the episodes. It's not okay. It is piracy technically, but like the site exists for a good reason. It's because there's a huge there's like a Spanish-speaking subsection of the fandom who has and they live in like Latin America, where the internet connection is often like way worse, and they don't
Oh,
have the
okay.
best like connectivity, and they don't have the best like data. So what the site I use to watch the episodes, which is called owlclub.net, basically what it does is it uploads the episodes um very very low data consumption, so that anyone in these countries can watch them without like being super like data consumptive, like if they're watching Disney Plus. And also if they
That's
can't
good.
afford Disney Plus. So it actually does exist for a noble reason. It's not just piracy.
That's really good, that's really good.
And besides, the least that Disney gets paid, the better. They're kind of scummy sometimes.
True, 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 true.
That money should just go directly to the people making the shows,
It
because
should.
they're doing a
Should.
fantastic job. Amphibia is another one I've heard is pretty good. I have never gotten around to watching that, but I definitely should. Heard great things about that. It's kind of in the same vein as the Owl House. It's one of those new like Disney shows that has like
Mhm.
mystery. Basically, like the Gravity Falls kind of spearheaded that genre, and now it's like a very insanely lucrative sort of show to make. And I feel like
Yeah, yeah.
the stuff people have been making with that concept is just ooh, chef's kiss. It's really good. And
Ooh, I have to
yeah,
try it. I have never watched any of those shows. I'm gonna have to look at them.
have you never watched Gravity Falls?
Nope, never.
Bro, okay, you need to watch that too.
I do need to watch
Bro.
that. I missed out. I was too busy with Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb. If you like Phineas and Ferb, you're probably gonna like Gravity Falls. Because I feel like they have
True.
similar styles of comedy. I have not watched Phineas and Ferb, but definitely from what I've seen, what I've heard from people, like they have like the similar sort of charm to them. I would say,
That's cool. That's
as long
cool.
as the rare mystery, and then you have the Owl House, which is also very tonally similar, but distinct enough, obviously, to merit to have its own merit. All
Uh-huh.
fantastic shows, and I would recommend Gravity Falls and the Owl House any day of the week. If you want to check out something to watch. I need to watch Arcane too. I have heard so many good things about Arcane, which is on
I have
Netflix, I
heard good things
believe.
about Arcane too.
I
Yeah.
gotta check that out. And also, there's this movie called Nimona, which I'm really excited about. I don't know if you know what that is, but it was a movie that was under development by Blue Sky Studios, and then Disney bought out Fox, which caused them to buy Blue Sky, who was owned by Fox.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah,
in
yeah.
2021, I believe Disney shut down Blue Sky while they were still making Nimona, which was 75%
Oh,
done. And then Disney was just like, you know what? Instead of
that's
finishing
unfortunate.
this movie, which is already mostly done, instead of keeping the crew and just transferring them to a different company or somewhere else and continuing to make the movie, let's just fire them all and let's just scrap the movie.
That's
I'm like,
annoying. That's really
bruh.
annoying.
And it was going to be such a good movie. But there is good news. This
Oh,
year, Netflix picked up the movie and is now finishing it.
yes, that's good. That's good.
And
That'll be really cool.
yeah, it also has more LGBT representation, I believe, and it has, from what I can tell, a very, very cool story. Although I would have to see it, of course, before I came to that full conclusion. So I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for a lot of new stuff, honestly, especially on the animation front. I don't know, that's something about, I always sort of like prefer animation to live action in a lot of
Huh.
regards. Obviously, there are live action shows and movies that can be really, really good. I know my fair share, but I definitely feel more inclined to animation for some reason. Like, I just find it way cooler. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. I don't want to sound pretentious. Like, there's work that goes into live action stuff too. Tons of it. It can all be really cool.
Yeah. It's just
Um,
like preference.
the merit of any production weighs is completely up to the production itself, not to whether it's live action or animation. So like
Uh-huh.
if it's a bad animation, it would be bad. If it's a bad live action, it would be bad. If it was a good live action, it would be good, and if it was a good animation, it would be good, you know?
Exactly, exactly.
Like, it doesn't matter whether it's animated or live action. So I kind of hate those debates so much because I've seen on Twitter, oh my god, like I hate one thing that really makes my blood boil is people who are like super like into 2D animation, and they're like,
Uh-huh.
oh, 3D animators, they put no effort into their work. They just use
Oh,
keyframes. They just use
that's
keyframes. Oh,
dumb. That's so
it's like we have
inaccurate.
like they're like they think we have like some button that just
It
automatically
just does
builds
it.
the animation
Exactly.
for us because we don't have to
Yeah.
draw. Like,
Oh
I'll
my gosh.
admit, it is definitely harder to do 2D animation when you're hand drawing it, because you have to do
Uh-huh.
every single frame. But that does not mean there is no work put into 3D animation. Like, don't be a pretentious, snobby piece of garbage. Are you serious? Like, it is such a
Yeah.
pretentious thing to say.
And they're different. Like 3D, you have to worry about like you have to model everything. You can't just
Yeah, and you
draw.
have
So
to
you
worry
have to
about that
like
too. Like, there's disadvantages and
lighting.
advantages to
Yeah.
everything.
Exactly, exactly.
Of course, I'm not saying any of this to devalue 2D. 2D is
Oh
still
yeah.
really
2D's
awesome,
cool.
and it does have a lot of work put into it. Like, you have to draw the individual frames. If it's hand drawn, sometimes you can use CG. You can use CG for 2D as well, and you could also something that these people fail to notice is that you can also use keyframes for 2D technically. So
Yeah, yeah.
with rigged animation, because they
With
stuff like
Rick.
The Loud House, like for example, which is a show I don't watch, but I know it uses rigged animation, so I thought I
Oh
would bring it
really?
up.
That's
Um,
cool.
it's a different animation style from the stuff I usually watch. But with that being said, yeah, that's um definitely don't gatekeep animation. Just that's the big thing.
Right. Right.
Animation is a beautiful thing, and it really doesn't matter whether it's stop motion, whether it's 3D, whether it's CGI, whether it's hand drawn. Talent goes into every corner of the industry. That's what I'll say.
Yep. Exactly. Period.
Yeah, just point blank. That is full stop, full stop. That's really all that
Full
needs to be
stop.
said.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And anything you would like to bring up? Because I feel like we've been going for over an hour, maybe an hour and 20-ish minutes, hour 30 maybe, hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any more questions to ask. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Um,
I think
so if
I'm good.
anything,
I can't really think of anything other
all
than
right.
like Venge. Woo, it's coming. I
You can
don't
definitely talk more about
know.
Venge if you want for the last part of this.
I mean, I don't really know what to talk about. Like, I'm working on it. Kind of cool. It's
Yeah, I
fun.
definitely think I might like I might actually start buying Venge and start playing it and then like start kind of
That'd be
like
really cool.
doing videos on it maybe once in a while, maybe doing a theory or two. I'm kind of getting involved cuz it is from what I've seen, it's a pretty impressive game for one developer to be
Thank you.
making.
Thank you.
Um
Thank you so
it's
much.
I think it's pretty cool from the walkthroughs I've seen, and I would like to try it out. I would like to sort of get involved in that and like maybe theorize about the story because You do have a story, right? Like there's plans, right?
Oh, yeah, it's so the story, for example, I wrote the not the majority. I what's it called? I came up with the majority of it on my own, but then I've been like working with someone who like is really good at telling stories and is
So like
really,
someone who
really
can refine
good.
it for you.
Yeah. So and we work together really, really well, and we bounce each other ideas off of each other really, really well.
That's
And
awesome. Yeah, I've
yeah, it's
I've
great.
done I've done my fair share of stories as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll admit to this like wholeheartedly. I have written fan fiction before. Um,
Oh, that's
in
fun.
2020 mostly. Sometimes I still do. Very rarely, but here's the thing. When I'm writing stories, here's the thing. Here's the cool thing about that. When I'm writing stories, I have like there's like 10 people I know on Twitter who are like super like critical and like super analytical and know how to spot stuff like plot holes, inconsistencies, contrivances, and I can just
Huh.
forward any story I write to them and be like,
Oh, that's
"Hey guys, can you
cool.
can you check this out and make sure I haven't like written it like a catastrophe and make sure this isn't a catastrophe or anything, and if you can
Mm-hmm.
offer any constructive criticism so I can make it better, any suggestions on how to fix any plot holes, I can just send it over to them and then they can read it over and then they can solve it like so. Um, and then I can have a really, really good script that is still of my own merit, but it had help, and that's cool. It's
Yeah,
never
yeah.
wrong to have help from people.
Oh yeah, of course. And I don't know, I'm super proud of what we've come up with. So, okay, the thing with Venge, it on the surface it looks really, really generic and it looks really dumb, and that's kind of like the point almost. But
Very,
like
very
once you
deceptive. I've
yeah,
seen
it
some people say
is.
it's a bendy clone. But they
It's
don't
not.
know. Oh, they don't
They
know.
don't
Pepe
know.
laugh. Pepe laugh.
They laugh.
They do
Yeah,
not know.
Venge. Yeah, Venge is crazy. It's I guess I could like talk about some stuff that I've never really talked about. It's kind of centered
Don't feel like you
the
have to spoil your game. Please don't.
I'm not gonna spoil it, don't worry.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff that just hasn't come out yet about Venge that like for Act 2, for example. So like the whole thing with Venge is it's just like it's a tragedy. It's not there's no part of it that's like a happy ending. And there's no evil. There's no like bad
It's just
person.
sad.
It's just a lot of like bad place at the wrong time. It's a lot of that. And it's
A
very
bunch of
like
unfortunate events. Like,
yeah. Yeah,
quite.
like for example, yeah, like Rotnik, for example, they were a legitimately good company. Their CEO is really great, like one of the best, very caring. He like worked, he like contributed to these movies. He was great. Everyone involved, they were really it was like a very friendly workplace and like it was really like
Definitely not like real life at all.
yeah, yeah, it was
We,
very
we
like
know it wasn't Jeff
picturesque.
Bezos, the CEO of that
Definitely
company.
not Jeff Bezos.
Oh no, not at
And
all.
yeah, yeah. So it's very just it's just sad, you know, like how things go down, and it's not
So
like
sort of
necessarily
like
like
FNAF in a
ooh.
sense, with like how Henry was like such a pretty good guy and had to lose a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. You could say it like
And
that.
William's
Um.
descent into insanity as well.
Mhm.
Like a
Yeah,
lot of stuff.
there's so many characters in Venge that you guys just have not met yet. Like, there's obviously the bosses, and the bosses are just like filler characters. To be honest, they serve to make the
They make
gameplay
you
interesting.
think. They make the game they make the player think the
Yes.
game is basic. That
Ha
it's just a boss
exactly.
fight game. And then there's like 50 layers of emotional storytelling underneath.
Oh yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
Venge iceberg.
It is literally, and that's like the thing I wanted. I wanted it to be like surface level. It's like oh cute, but then as you start to delve deeper into it, it really
We're
starts
gonna
to
call
like
up Matt Pat for this one.
oh yeah, like it's I'm super
And
proud of it.
Wendigoon,
But
probably.
and Wendigo, and so currently the version on Steam does not represent that very well. I was not very good at making games when I made that, but I'm working on 2.0, which is if you don't know what 2.0 is, it's basically just a
Just like an
giant
update or an overhaul, would you say?
oh, it's a complete. I'm pretty much remaking Act One from scratch. Like even the rooms, like they're all being completely remade to be better graphics, better
That's
optimized.
really
I'm
cool,
getting
yeah.
like, thank you. I'm getting
Yeah,
like
good
200
luck.
frames per second. Yeah, it's great. And then Act Two obviously is Act Two,
Well, those
but
200 frames per second are not gonna work on my laptop, I'm telling you that. And
well,
that's not
I
your
get them in
fault.
the
That's
editor.
not your
Like
fault.
you'd be surprised. I get them in the editor, and the editor is the editor makes things like 4 times laggier, so you can get, if you have a good computer, you can maybe get 1,000 frames per second in the game. I don't even know, but yeah. So that's just what I've been doing, and I'm really, really
I'm really excited
proud of
for
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Feel free to
Hopefully,
update me whenever, and I honestly might just start playing the game. I might.
oh, thank you. That'd be cool. And hopefully, you can see past all of like the dumb stuff that's in the game that I
The
need to
Venge
cut out.
tubers.
I love that.
Yes.
But it's also kind of cool because after Venge is done, after Act X comes out, which is the sixth act, there's Act 0, Act 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Act X. After that's done, I'm moving on to a completely different game, and it's going to be completely different. All of my games exist in the same universe, so they all share a common sort of
The
story.
Ekrcoaster lore is real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they all share a common story, which is going to be like the roots of it will be introduced in later acts. But after Venge is done, then I'm working on a completely new game, and then I'm going to keep doing that.
The Venge
And
Cinematic Universe, the VCU.
yup, the Coaster Cinematic or Coaster Gaming Universe, the
The
GCU.
CGU.
Yeah,
The
it's pretty
CGU,
cool.
Ethan.
The
The
CGU, yeah.
CG. You got it mixed up, man. That
I
would be
did.
the
I'm
Gaming Coaster Universe.
the Gaming Coaster Universe. Yeah, it's either or, but it's kind of cool. And so I'm just working on that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
And
I'm really hyped for that, honestly.
thank
Like,
you,
I'm really
thank
excited
you.
to see it.
Hopefully Act 2 comes out before the sun explodes. That's my goal. Hopefully I
Oh
can do
yeah,
that.
just you have a tad bit of time to do that, I would say. Like maybe
Just a little bit of
a
time.
few billion years.
A few
You might be
billion
able to
years.
get
It
some
might be
stuff done.
yeah, I might have to cut some corners though.
You might have to
But
cut some corners. If only it was like a few more billion years.
a few more billion. Then I could easily finish it.
Yeah,
But I'm
exactly.
taking my time with Venge, and I know it's gonna take a long time to come out, and hopefully people aren't don't get mad at
Well,
me. But
you know the old quote. A
yeah,
delayed game.
it's better than a rushed game.
Exactly. That's not the quote at all. I'm butchering it, but
Oh,
something like that. Something like that. Some developer said that. I forgot their name.
it's like the guy who made Mario.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Someone who works
Nintendo
at
or something.
Nintendo.
Yeah, the CEO, I think. So I'm taking my time with it, but it's going pretty well, and I'm
Yeah, just
excited.
you can keep me updated
But
if you want. That is awesome to
yeah,
hear.
of course. Sorry about the shameless self plug. Gotta
No,
do
I've
it.
done that too. I did that like I did that for most of the I've talked about
Most of the
myself for like
podcast.
half of this episode.
It's great. It's great. I love hearing about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that totally. It feels like we really connected on this. Yeah,
I think so. Like it's yeah.
we're
I've
besties
been
now.
having so much fun. We pretty much are. Like actually, we pretty much are. I've
Yeah,
been having a lot of fun.
yeah. This is a really fun interview. I gotta say. I do
Yeah.
think we should wrap it up now because there's not really much else to talk about.
Probably.
But it's been
We're
going
all
on
out of
for at
ideas.
least an hour and a half. I'm sure.
Pretty
That
solid.
being said, the Mont episode went on for about 40 minutes, so this is a lot longer.
Oh, we doubled it. We beat their record. Haha.
Yep, I'm just gonna send this to Mont. I'm gonna be like, L, loser, because I
Loser.
have him friended.
Oh yeah, yeah. Be like, we beat you by double.
I should tell him that, you used to
Yeah,
look
you
up to
should.
BPS. He'd
Oh
probably
yeah, yeah.
find
Do
that
it, do it, do
cool.
it. Yeah, for sure. They were
That was
super
it
cool.
was way before Mont actually worked there, because he only
Uh-huh.
joined in 2020, but I think he'd still find it pretty cool, to know
Yeah,
that.
it is
Because
pretty
I know
cool.
Mont's watched my videos too,
Oh.
about you and Enchanted Mob and stuff, so he knows who
Oh
you are
really?
for sure.
Oh, that's so cool. Tell them I said hi.
Yeah,
It's so
I will
weird.
totally.
It's so surreal hearing like
Yeah,
people talk about me.
the world is such a small place.
It
Sometimes so you
is.
gotta.
It really
I
is.
mean, the cool thing is like it's just so yeah. I mean, it's so cool. Like I've had my name mentioned sometimes by like by people who have actual followings, like Dags,
The
for
big people.
instance, when he made his second
Yeah.
video. He doesn't have that much of a following, but he's really good at YouTube and getting views.
You got you got yeah, yeah, you got mentioned at the big
Yes,
guy.
he
What's his name?
did.
Something gamer. Yeah. Yeah.
Some
Or something
ordinary gamer.
gaming.
What? You mean Mudahar? Like some ordinary gamers?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Him, him.
He mentioned me. What the hell? I haven't
I'm
seen that. I
pretty
haven't seen this
I'm
video.
I'm pretty sure.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, it's a
Oh,
long
no
video, I'm pretty
way!
sure. I'm
No
pretty sure he
way! He
mentioned
actually
you.
mentions me?
Pretty sure,
Oh.
99% sure. Don't hold me against it though.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, I
That
know
is
he
cool.
mentioned a lot of people.
I know Moist Critical was also he also reacted to Dags's video. I'm not sure. He might have mentioned me because I was mentioned in that video.
Oh
Um,
yeah, mentioned by
Game
association.
Fury also mentioned Dags in one of his videos.
Oh no way.
Not me for sure, but he did mention Dags along with
That's
Sagan Hawks, who's
cool.
not involved, but he made videos loosely related to the same topic. Just like
Oh,
video
that's
games in
cool.
general. And you might have
Yeah,
seen Sagan Hawks' channel because it's also kind of a big thing now. Um,
I
Although
think so.
I have no affiliate. No, none of us have any affiliation with no one I know has affiliation with him, but he was mentioned by Game Fury along with Dags. And
That's
I have
cool.
Dags friended. Dags promoted my second video, which honestly it is still so cool that I can't believe it got that many views. It's up in the 170K ish at this point, which is
Wow. Oh, your
and the
first
cool
video?
thing. No, my first video is at sitting around like in the 90K air arena
Oh, okay, okay.
aisle, something like that, between
Yeah.
90 and 100K, and my second one is 170K. Which have you watched that one?
Yes, I've watched both of them.
Okay, great. So it was 100. It's now about 170K ish. Um, it blew up honestly, like the moment I
It did.
posted it too, and I was amazed because that was the first time I deliberately posted a video. I'm hoping to get views on it, and it actually worked. Because the last video, I was putting that information out because I wanted to put it out, and I didn't expect it to get that many views. And then suddenly February rolls around. Dags makes his first video. The YouTube algorithm blesses me, puts my video in his recommended. Suddenly, I shoot up from 10K views to 20K in like 15 days. 3 days later, I'm up to
Wow.
30K. And at the end of the month, I'm up to like a 60, 70K ish. And now I've flatlined it out around 90K, but it was such a cool growth. And my second video has also flatlined, but and the
That's
first
super
video was
cool
an
though.
accident. The first video was an accident. The second video was deliberate. Like I was actually posting that strategically, thinking I would get views if I posted it after Dags' second video, and I
Oh,
did. And Dags actually
and it
showed out my
worked.
video. Now obviously I didn't just want the views. I wanted the views, but not because I was greedy. Because I wanted people to see the information.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like honestly, like every YouTuber wants views on their video for some reason or another. Like if they want to
Yeah.
put information out there, they want people to see it. Um, and that was true in my case. Like I didn't just want views because I wanted to be popular. I wanted people to see the video because it was important. It was probably
Right,
my most
right.
important video of that time.
It is really important,
And
right?
it's amazing from because I'm a channel I'm a YouTuber who barely breaks 100 on most of his videos.
Uh-huh.
And that's often a bit it often gets me a bit disillusioned with the whole content making thing. Even though I enjoy making content, it kind of sucks how it just doesn't get me any reward. And then boom, 170K. Wow. That was
That's really
insane for
good.
me. And I am, of course, planning to make one final video on the situation that kind of like addresses a lot of the stuff I failed to cover before. And
Huh.
that will be, I believe, the last time I ever speak on this in a video because I really want to step down from
Same.
the drama I got involved in, which is
Same.
respectable, yeah. So where I'm
Yeah.
going moving forward, I definitely might make videos on Venge. Outside of the drama, I'll just make videos about Venge as a game.
That'd be really
Possibly,
cool. I'd really appreciate
possibly.
that.
I'm not 100% sure on that. If I find the time to, but I'm definitely thinking of it, and I'll go back into Minecraft animations when I can. Um, Obviously, there's real life stuff I got to do. I still need to learn how to drive a car. Haven't started
That's
that yet,
important.
despite being 17.
Huh.
But I will. I will. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. So, with that being said, yeah, it's really exciting. The future, I gotta say, for
It
both of us.
is. It really
I'll
is.
keep you updated on what I'm working on if that's fine, and you can keep me
Yeah, of
updated
course.
on what you're working on. And
That sounds great.
yeah, I think we're actually like genuinely friends. Not just like
Yeah,
talking as part of an
yeah,
interview. Yeah, that's cool to
yeah.
think about.
We're besties.
Thank
We're
you very
besties.
much. Yes,
Of
thank you
course.
very, very much for showing up for this interview.
Of
Absolute honor to
course.
have you here. Especially as
Thank
someone
you.
who Animation Wins has actually winned in the past. When Huvium was in charge, it is fantastic because I know the audience of this channel is going to recognize you immediately. Like they're going to be
Yeah.
like, "No way, he got Ekrcoaster. No way."
I know, right? Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I used to
So
love
again,
animation.
Yeah, and we're finally starting to get it back off the ground. A lot of the
Yes.
people who were helping me investigate the drama are now pledging to help me run animation wins because I made a lot of friends out of that
Yes.
group.
That's great. That's great.
So I'm finally bringing it back up off the ground after Hoovian stepped down, and I'm really excited for that too. So yeah, once again, thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining me
Of
today. Absolute
course. Thanks for
honor. I
having
hope I
me.
wasn't too much of a bother, too much of an annoyance.
No,
I
you're good. You're
interrupted a
good.
fair amount of
Yeah.
times. Sorry, I just did it again. I interrupted a fair amount of times. I know. I tried to let you
You're
speak,
all
of
good.
course, but
You're all good. You're all good.
I was a bit too funny at times. I gotta admit, I gotta tone down on that a bit.
Mhm.
But with that being said, yeah, thanks so much, and it was great having you here. And I'll see you. I'll see you. I'll keep in contact.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was great. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah. With that being said, I think we can end it here. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.